What's going on, Alabama fans? Chris Daughtry here with the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. We're just 72 days away from A-Day now, so if you guys are as excited as I am for A-Day to finally get here, type me in the comment section of today's show. You guys can spam it 20, 30 times a piece. Most comments on today's video will get a shout out on tomorrow's video. All right, first up on today's show, Kalen DeBoer was at the Senior Bowl practice on Tuesday and answered a lot of questions from Alabama's media that was in attendance there anyways. One that really caught my attention was about Ryan Grubb and the possibility of some, talks and communications between the two on maybe possibly bringing him in and, bringing him onto this Alabama coaching staff. Now, we remember, all the situation that happened last year. He was brought on to be Alabama's offensive coordinator for, like a week or something like that. Ended up staying in Seattle and taking that offensive coordinator job with the Seattle Seahawks, which he is now fired from and, I guess in coach speak, is a free agent right now. This is what Kalen DeBoer said about his friend Ryan Grubb here. He said, "We go way back. He's a great friend of mine. I think the world of him, as a football coach, obviously as a person too. I know he's working through the process after what last season brought, just kind of seeing what he does there and here for him, whatever he needs from me, that's always going to be the case there." So what you're saying is there's a chance. Look, Kalen DeBoer didn't say yes, but at the same time, he also did not say no. Ultimately, when it comes to this Ryan Grubb stuff right now, I do just think it's kind of him expressing some appreciation for a friend because, look, they were together for a long time. And if Ryan Grubb wants to come to Alabama, I am sure they would absolutely find a role for him because we know the connections with each other, right? They were together at Sioux Falls, Eastern Michigan, Fresno State multiple times. Also, that magical run that they had together at Washington in 2023. Now, I do just want to kind of pump the brakes and express the fact that, yes, Ryan Grubb was fired from the Seattle Seahawks. He didn't just walk away from the job. There is a reason he was fired from the Seattle Seahawks, and mainly it's just because their offense just was not that good in 2024. And I know a lot of Alabama fans, talk about the fact that, you want to run the ball. You don't want to go out there and throw it, 40, 50 times in a game. And while the Seahawks offense was not very good this year, I do want to take into consideration, the personnel that they had on offense. Didn't really have, the most explosive playmakers on offense. But look, Ryan Grubb absolutely loves to throw the ball. And I know Alabama fans, how you guys can be about, throwing the ball too much. We like to run the ball. You see it on the hat. Run the damn ball, Paul. Like all those things. Now, obviously, you have to be balanced. You have to have kind of a mix of things on offense. Start off, with the run and be able to, open up the pass. But look, man, Seattle was 29th in rushing yards per game. And it wasn't just because they weren't very good at rushing the ball. It was because Ryan Grubb did not call a lot of, offensive rushing play calls. Seattle Seahawks this year, their offensive rush play rate was 37.18%. That was good for 28th in the NFL this year. That means out of all the plays this season that Ryan Grubb called, only 37% of those plays were run plays. I don't know if Alabama fans are really going to love that much. Look, the success at Washington was undeniable. They had a fantastic season, but you also had Michael Penix Jr. that went on to be a first-round draft pick. He was also a Heisman finalist as well. So I get that you would be excited about the potential hiring of Ryan Grubb, but I do want to caution you. He throws the ball a lot, and I don't really know if Alabama fans would love that so much either. So let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video, guys. Who would you rather be the offensive coordinator for the Crimson Tide next season? Type G if you would like it to be Ryan Grubb, or type S if you think it would be Nick Sheridan. It's the pinned comment of today's video, so if that ad comes here on YouTube, that's totally fine. You guys can ignore it. Get down there to the pinned comment and let me know what you guys think. Kalen DeBoer continued on, and he really did mention that he really does like the momentum for Alabama going into next season. I know a lot of you guys are like, what momentum? What are you talking about? We lost to Michigan in the last game of the season. But look, after that game, a lot of things have happened. You had a lot of starters decide to return back to Alabama. If I'm not mistaken, like 9 starters on the defensive side of the ball alone. Your offensive line, still besides Tyler Booker, still pretty much held together there. You also let go Colin Hitchler from, one of the defensive back coaches as well. You hired Alabama alumni and longtime defensive backs coach Jason Jones. They've been working through a lot of player-led workouts. Coaches really can't coach right now. So, this really just helps some of those players build the leadership and the trust amongst players and stuff like that. So, there's been a lot going on and a lot of optimism going into next season, really into A-Day. I guess that's the next thing, coming up here for Alabama. And not to mention, it's just another offseason to get more comfortable with this playbook because, look, it's been just over a year and a week or something like that since Kalen DeBoer was hired. So, look, there's been a lot of, things that these guys have had to go through, the past 365 days here. So I am also very excited for Alabama spring going into A-Day. And I do agree with Kalen DeBoer that there is a lot of momentum going into Alabama spring practices. We'll continue with some conversation here in just a second, but today's show is presented by Game Time. You guys can get tickets to the big game now by using Game Time. And look, I know it can be expensive, but you guys can use the Game Time Picks feature to make getting tickets for the big game and other live events even easier. Game Time Picks just filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value, whether that's a concert, a comedy show, a theater show, going to an Alabama basketball game. Like we mentioned before, the Senior Bowl coming up here on Saturday. You also got Willie Nelson coming to town here in just a couple of months. Game Time has pretty much tickets for anything that you need tickets for. You guys can find it on Game Time. They also have the all-in pricing feature. You toggle this feature on, and it shows you the total up front, so there are no surprise fees at checkout. They also have the lowest prices guaranteed, so if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Now, terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. That link's in the comment section and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. They have last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Kalen DeBoer also talked about the quarterback room and just kind of the situation that Alabama is in right now, going through that quarterback transition. And he specifically was asked about Ty Simpson. He hinted at Ty Simpson right now really being the leader in that quarterback room and really kind of being the front runner, for Alabama to be their starting quarterback next year. DeBoer was asked about, what he's seen from Ty Simpson and the patience that he has shown in the past couple of seasons here, sitting behind Bryce Young, Jalen Milroe, and some other guys as well, and how rare that is right now in the current state of college football. A lot of guys would have opted to hit the transfer portal. You've even had multiple quarterbacks, Eli Holsting. You've had Dylan Lonergan also hit the transfer portal. Sure, those guys were probably still behind Ty Simpson, but the point remains, Ty Simpson has been a guy that has stuck around, and he's been waiting patiently and has been waiting his turn. This is what Kalen DeBoer said about Ty Simpson. He said, you certainly appreciate what he's done. Just continue to work on, what he can control, that being himself. Continue to build relationships to get ready for the chance that he has right in front of him. Not to just step up as a leader, because I think he's been doing that, but to have that opportunity to step in and be the quarterback for Alabama next season. And I don't know about you guys, but that certainly does sound like a coach that is confident in what he has at that quarterback position and is comfortable giving Ty Simpson the opportunity to win that starting job there. But, also at the end of the day, what else is he going to say, right? My next campaign, by the way, is Theismann season. Ty Simpson, Heisman season, kind of right there at the same thing. But make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We're just 327 subs away from our next goal here of 23.5 thousand subscribers. I'm trying to get the bosses also, trying to convince them to let me go live for the SEC and NCAA basketball tournaments, but I need your guys' help. Hit that sub button. Do not miss out on any Alabama football news or rumors. Last thing I want to talk about here before we get out of here, both Tristen Keys and Cederian Morgan, the top two wide receivers in this 2026 recruiting class, are both expected to visit Alabama for their junior day on February 1st. That is per 247 Sports. I'm sure On3 has reported it as well. The recruiting profile, the numbers that you see right here, are actually their 247 Sports rankings. It's not the composite rankings because, as of right now, I believe they're, a little bit different. So I think the composite rankings had Cederian Morgan like number 8 or something like that. So, just kind of wanted it to be number 1 and number 2. Really pretty, really nice for the graphic there. I will also note On3 has linebacker, or I guess edge rusher Anthony Jones as the number 1 player in the state of Alabama. He will also be in town for Alabama on Junior Day coming up here in just a couple of weeks. This will also be the 5th time Cederian Morgan has visited Tuscaloosa since Kalen DeBoer in this staff took over just a year ago. Both players also visited Auburn for their Junior Day last weekend as well.